So a lot of you guys have been commenting on my videos, things like, I'm a Chad, and, one guy literally was like, you've always had everything handed to you because you're a Chad. And although I appreciate the compliment and the sentiment, I'm going to explain in this video why being good looking actually cannot make you happy. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are young, you're like in your 20s and your 30s, who watch my content. And I know it seems like getting laid and having women attracted to you is the most important thing in the world. And I know it could be really frustrating when you see other guys getting this and you're not. I was young once too. I was in my 20s too, and there was a period of time where I went through that. I empathize with that. And I understand where you're coming from. But the thing you need to understand is that, even though I'm good looking and tall or whatever, and I've always gotten a lot of attention from women and even just other situations in life, it was always very surface level and superficial, right? The truth is, I didn't like who I was. I didn't like myself at all. And if you're not happy with yourself, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what other people's perception of you is. Because you're not going to, it's like just a quick little validation that you get. It's like a quick little dopamine rush when you use your looks to try to feel better, or when you get attention from the opposite sex, or sometimes even men, will be more attracted to being your friend or whatever. They'll be attracted to you, not in necessarily that in a sexual way too, but just regular straight men, they'll want to be your friend. It's all fucking fake, guys. It's all superficial. If you have been through certain things in your life, if you've been through certain traumas, if you were sexually abused when you were young, if you were abandoned by your parents, if you have a terrible relationship with your father, being a fucking Chad is not going to take that pain away. You understand? And this is something that I didn't really get for a lot of my life. And I didn't understand why I wasn't happy. I was like, but I'm good looking. I live in America. Other people have it so much worse than me. And this is something I still think about all the time. I'm like, people in other countries have it so much worse than me. I should be happy. Why am I not happy? But the truth is, I was depressed because I had a lot of situations that happened to me when I was young. I've been through a lot of things that made me have very low self-esteem and made me not like myself, if I'm being honest with you. And I don't want this to come off as whiny or a victim mentality. I'm just letting you know because I know a lot of you are probably struggling with that too. It didn't matter how I looked. It didn't matter how many women liked me. It didn't matter how much sex I had. These things can never bring you true contentment and peace. Now, they can definitely help, and I'm not saying that you should just abandon, wanting to be attractive or trying to build relationships with women or trying to look good. I think that these things are very important, and I think that they play a key role in our happiness because we sort of have this internal spiritual kind of happiness, and then there is the surface level happiness, like having a nice place to live, making decent money, having good relationships. Those things are certainly important, and I don't think they should ever be neglected. But you can't focus on all of that external stuff. And this is the problem with a lot of the red pill communities and the manosphere or whatever. They only really focus on the external shit. Go to the gym, build a great body, get your money up, become rich. These things are all sort of arbitrary, and you're going to be chasing them for the rest of your life. If you cannot learn to just sit and just be happy with what is happening here and now, if you cannot just accept the present moment, that other shit will never make you happy. You will chase it for the rest of your life. That is all external. And if you're not doing the inner work to be happy with who you are in this moment, no matter what, that other shit's never going to make you happy. You're going to just, you'll chase it and you'll end up miserable. And I'm telling you because I know, because I've tried this. I've did the gym thing. I was very into lifting weights, and there was still a void missing. I tried to be with women, and still the void was still there. And I'm a firm believer in, I say this in some of my other videos, it's like, you can't just live your whole life listening to content creators on YouTube. As a man, I think that or a woman too, whoever, there's a lot of beauty in mistakes. There's a lot of beauty in failures and rejections. You can't just listen to everything that people on YouTube say and just live your whole life taking their advice step by step. It's not going to work like that. You have to live your own life. You have to embrace your individuality and go through your own experience and learn things for yourself. But with that being said, if there's just like one fucking thing that I wish you can just trust me on, it's this. It's that focusing only on superficial things like being a Chad, your looks, your body, your finances, putting all of your effort and energy into just that is never going to make you truly happy. It might bring you a comfortable lifestyle, and it might make you feel happy for a period of time. So if you look at some of these guys, like these big like Andrew Tate types with the money and the cars and shit, these guys they're so distracted by all this stuff that they don't even have time to like sit and contemplate and like really ask themselves, like, am I actually happy? Like, do you think any of these guys can like just be alone for a couple of days, like completely alone without anything, no social media, no nothing? They'd go fucking crazy, because most people are just distracting themselves from doing inner work. I started catching on to this and realizing when I just kept chasing external stuff and it wasn't making me happy, I was like, what's wrong? When I started practicing mindfulness, meditation, and I started forcing myself to just sit and like just be with myself, this is when I started realizing that there was a lot of pain in here that was causing my unhappiness. So, it's just something to think about. You gotta ask yourself, what do you think it is for you that makes you unhappy right now? I mean, is it really the fact that women aren't into you? Is it the fact that, maybe you're living kind of a mediocre, boring lifestyle? Start making these changes. So for me, happiness doesn't come from, it does to a certain degree. The thing is, having good looks without confidence and without high self-esteem is basically useless. Having both is ideal. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Now I take care of my physical appearance and the circumstantial stuff, and I also feel good with who I am inside, even if I didn't have any of that. And that's kind of that's the message I'm trying to preach here, and that's what I'm trying to do with my content. Like, I fell into that trap of like red pill and like just, fuck as many women as possible and make a lot of money, and I've fallen into that, and I'm telling you, it doesn't work. But who knows, maybe it will work for you. I don't know. Maybe you got to try that for yourself. But I think that if you look at any spiritual text, if you look at any great philosopher, if you look at any intelligent human, they all agreed with me that kind of stuff alone isn't going to do it. So that's basically the video for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I always appreciate the comments. I appreciate constructive criticism, feedback. I'm open to it. I hope you have a great week. Thank you.